This is George Kipling. You're about to find out how under-resourced and overworked he and his team in salary administration really are. A younger manager is being brought in to help sort things out. The lessons that he's about to learn should help you in your own understanding of what it takes to motivate a team. Even one as demoralized and disparate as this one.
Martin, redundant. Peacock, redundant. Robertson, early retirement. Trip, question mark. Trip, question mark.
I'm sorry.
Come in, George.
I've been sorting out the luncheon vouchers. There's no problem, really. It's just we didn't get the memo from personnel in time. It got stuck in the mailroom. You know how short-handed we are. And then we had to sort out the salary sheets first. It's the system, Ralph. I'll have to sit down with data processing before year-end and try and sort something out.
Make it soon, George. By year-end, you'll have another 150 names on the payroll. The merger's gone through. We're closing down deadlight windows, bringing some of their people over.
150?
Only sales and installation. The rest, we're letting go. That's what I wanted to see you about.
150?
You can handle it. One of their accountants will help you out with the detail. Paul Tripp. Young man. I'll keep him on for a few weeks to help you consolidate the deadlight accounts with ours. Then I'll let him go before year-end. Unless, of course, he turns out to be a good one. Then we might make some changes. He'll keep you on your toes anyway.
Thank you very much.
No, I just want my vouchers. I want it now.
Do me a favour.
No, all right, later.
I'm not.
Look, I've been here all morning doing my
Your
best.
I want my... What are you doing now?
Thanks much. Lorna?
Hello?
Number 5. Extra sheet.
Hello, Mr. Parker. It's not my fault. Yes, I know it's about the commissions. Yes, it's the third person that's rang me this morning. It's not our fault. You'll just have to
We saw the exam. Thanks very much. Number 2? Yeah, no, thank you.
Nothing
Number 8?
I can do. I'm sorry. Oh, thanks, Trevor. It's not on the computer. It's not my fault.
You weren't last.
We've left off Midland's commissions again. They've been on to me all morning.
Does anyone give us any credit anymore? No, it's take all the time, isn't it? Moan. Well, they're merging deadlight now. We'll have another 150 names on the salary list before year-end. How about that? Another 150.
Just like that? How are we supposed to cope?
Yes, all right, yes. George, Northern office on the line for you. It's urgent. I'll put it through, shall I?
Excuse me, I'm just going to jump out the window.
And we have corporate membership at the health club next door. I work out myself 3 times a week. So, there we are. I want you to start consolidation and hold the fort until George gets back. Oh, and keep an eye on the staff. They need motivating all the time. Plenty of carrot, plenty of stick.
Right.
Set your targets, aim high, and come down on them like a ton of bricks if they fail to hit them.
Thanks, Lorna.
She's a hard worker. Bosses George around.
Is she in line for this job?
Not qualified. There's your list of deadlight names to consolidate. Personnel have reassigned the job grades.
My name's not on here.
We still have to straighten out 1 or 2 things. Your car, for instance, is a bit bigger than you'd normally get here. That's all right. You can hang on to it for the next couple of months or so.
When?
When what?
When are we going to straighten things out?
As soon as we've consolidated the payroll, we'll sit down and talk about your future.
Right, but...
It's all down to the bottom line, isn't it? Can you just do it? Well, I'd better leave you to settle in.
Right. There's only a couple of things I...
Yes?
Nothing.
Well, don't forget, if you need any help, my door is always open.
Wonderful. So what do I do now? Motivate them, he said. Have a staff meeting. Find out what they do. Then hear from them how things could be done. Make them take responsibility for their own jobs. Self-determination. Right. Right. Hi. Listen, I'd like us all to get together. For a staff meeting, you know. When do you normally have your staff meetings? How about straight after lunch, 2 o'clock? Where do you normally have them?
We don't have meetings. We're too busy.
Well, we do now. Is there a conference room we can use?
Upstairs.
Good.
That belongs to marketing.
That's all right. I'll take care of marketing. We're not all here.
You can say that again.
She's a temp.
So?
This is a staff meeting. Temps aren't staff.
She's been here longer than I have.
She's one of us. I think she ought to join us. Would you mind asking her in, Trevor?
Sure.
I'm going to be frank.
What's wrong with Paul?
I'm new to pane windows and new to this department. I need your help in getting the hang of it. I'll start by finding out what everybody does. I'll sit down with each of you later and go over your job descriptions with
We
you.
don't have job descriptions.
You don't have job descriptions?
We do. Mr. Kipling went over them with us when we had the consultants in. Personnel keeps them.
Didn't you write them?
That's not our job.
Have you seen them?
Of course. We had to sign them.
They're most probably out of date now. We've got a new system.
Listen, as if we don't know what we're doing, we just get on with it.
How do you know you're doing it right?
At bonus time.
But we don't get it in the neck from Mr. Trimmer and the others.
I'm sorry. I don't work like that. I want everyone to take charge of their own jobs. I want to hear from you how you think it should be done. I want to know what your problems are and how we can solve them. It's up to you. So, who'd like to go first? Lorna, we'll start with you at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's all about self-determination. Mr. Kipling, really, it's no trouble at all. I'll bring it round on Friday evening after work. Yes, you can give me a few tips. You don't want to come back and find the place a shambles, do you? No. Great. Bye. Bye. I'm taking his briefcase back. Now, where were we?
The reconciliation sheets.
Oh, yes. I think that's a great idea. If you think it'll work better that way, why don't we try it?
We always did it the other way before.
And look where that got us. Now, what I really need are your ideas on how we integrate the 150 Deadlight people.
I'll have to think about that.
Great. I'd like your suggestions in a couple of days, if that's okay. What do you want from me?
What?
I've told you what I expect from you. Now you tell me what you expect from me.
I'd like time off to do my exams.
What exams?
Intermediate. I'm doing accountancy at college in the evenings, but I have to take holidays to do my exams.
Does anyone know you're doing this course?
No one ever asked.
Let me look into it. Now, apart from that, what do you expect from me as a manager?
Asking us to decide how we do our own jobs. Now I've heard it all.
So, what was it, Trevor?
Determined.
Number 5.
So, I'll tell you one of us who's determined. Lorna. To get her own way.
Mr. Alexander 3?
Thank you.
When am I going to have time to write my own job description, I'd like to know?
He should be telling us what to do. What's the manager for? In my day, bosses were bosses.
He doesn't mean it. They're trained to say things like that nowadays. It's those films they make them watch.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, did you ask him for a rise?
Some chance.
Well, what did he want then?
He wants us to do his job for him. Anyway, we've got work to do.
Great.
Thanks.
You have to set an example. Lead from the front. You have to inspire them. Be positive. Determined. Believe in yourself. It's all down to attitude and personality.
Do we have an appraisal system?
Of course. Everybody's evaluated for the annual pay rise. And we have to tell everyone what grade they're given. A, B, C, or D. D's pretty bad. Get a D, you better start looking for another job. Speed 20. Not bad.
What about A's?
We don't give out A's. Nobody's perfect.
Well done, Ralph. Great work. He's doing well, isn't he? Great. So, are you joining us? Bit of toning up, eh?
No, I'm just having a look around. Don't think I'm ready for all this, though.
Well, you've got to have something to aim for. A goal, a purpose. Breathe out when you let go, Ralph. Good man. And you've got to know when you're getting there. Otherwise, you're only going through the motions.
I couldn't do this. Not the first couple of times, anyway.
Oh, you set your own targets. Go at your own pace. You'd be surprised how fast you improve. Right, Ralph? Right.
Cheers. Got to have something to aim for. A goal. A purpose. A purpose. That's what they need. Targets and feedback to know how they're doing. Make their work purposeful.
Thanks for the advice, Ralph. It's been a great help. Thanks.
Glad to be of help.
They won't like it.
Look, Lorna. If we don't have a purpose, how do we know if we're getting anywhere? We've got to start by logging the complaints as they come in.
It's more work. Anyway, they're just not going to like it.
Why? Because they feel they're being monitored.
Possibly.
I said I'm not interested in who's to blame. I'm interested in what proportion of our throughput goes through without error, and then we can work on improving our performance. And another thing, right now we get blamed for everything, but a lot of the mistakes aren't our fault. Shouldn't we keep track?
I suppose so.
So, what I want us to do on Monday is get together and decide specifically how we're going to keep track of errors and what targets we can set to reduce them.
Fine.
Huh. So, what has Ralph got you doing with my department?
I'm just holding the fort until you get back.
Lorna tells me you're making changes. That's a bit quick off the mark, isn't it?
So she's been talking to you, has she?
Well, she just phoned up to see how I was getting on. No, she's a good girl, Lorna. Needs a bit of guidance, like they all do. Still, you have to watch them make their own mistakes. Like children. So, what are Ralph's orders?
Consolidate the deadlight people, nothing else. Just get on with it. You says his door is always open.
That's so he can throw you out easier. He just cares about the bottom line. As long as you perform, he doesn't care. Carrot and stick, isn't it? Well, it works for him, but it's not my way.
What I'm trying to do is get them to take some responsibility for their work, to see some point in it, generate their own ideas on how it ought to be done. Take part in the decisions that concern them. You know, self-determination.
People want to be told what to do.
Yes,
Otherwise, there'd be chaos.
but there has to be a purpose, hasn't there? We all have to have targets to aim for, and you have to have the right feedback so you know you're reaching them. I've tried to work it all out with them, but they don't respond. I know it's only been a week, but I don't seem to be getting anywhere.
Don't let anyone at pains hear you say that. Especially Ralph. He just wants results. No, son. You got to watch them all the time. Encourage them. Put them right. I mean, that's what the job is, isn't it?
I think people have to motivate themselves. It's our job to create the conditions.
You're young, you'll learn. In the meantime, you want to put us old fogies out to grass.
Oh, no. Everyone will be glad to have you back.
I'm not coming back.
What?
No, I've asked for early retirement. They can hardly refuse, can they? Not after they've given it to all your deadlight people. No, we can rub along quite nicely here now the girls have flown the nest.
Oh, dear.
Sorry?
Nothing. I wasn't counting on doing salaries indefinitely.
Of course.
So, what are you going to do?
Oh, I'll keep busy, don't you worry. They give me these to do at the clinic. For the children's ward. Every child who comes in gets one. It's nice, isn't it?
Very nice.
I'll be getting on to heads soon.
Oh, good.
No. Paynes has never been the same since they brought in computers. People just don't seem to matter anymore. Makes you feel so useless.
Who? The staff?
No, the computers. So, nice to be doing something useful for somebody for a change.
Doing something useful for somebody. That'll get them going. Show them how what they do affects other people. How it's useful to somebody else. Morning, Bert.
Good
Any
morning.
mail?
No, Mr. Tripp.
Is your job useful?
Of course my job's useful. I mean, you've got to have experience to go with the qualifications if you want to get on.
I couldn't manage on my pension, could I? Not with my expenses.
I don't mean that. I don't mean useful to you. I mean useful to other people.
What do you mean?
Look, we've got customers just like sales.
We never see any customers.
Every single person in Payne Windows is our customer. We provide them with a service. Our job isn't to fill out the input sheets for the bank every month end. It's to make sure everyone gets the right pay and benefits on time. And that's very important for the morale of the whole company. Filling out the sheets is just one way we do that, do you see? We're not just feeding one end of the computer and mopping up the other. What we do is useful to other people.
Yeah, but it's always take. I mean, what do we get out of this?
We're customers too. We depend on people in personnel and accounts, where each of us entitled to service from them.
What about me? I'm part-time. I don't do anything for anybody outside the department.
But you do things for Trevor. You do things for Marjorie. They're your customers. Marjorie, what do you need from Mr. Alexander?
For him to keep his hands to himself.
Come on.
I don't know, really. He gives me the compliment sheet for my expense reconciliation when he's updated it.
You see? You're his customer. When he updates the sheet, he's doing something for you, not just a meaningless chore. Okay. What could he do to make it more useful to you?
I'll tell you something. You can make your ticks in the margin instead of all over the columns.
I have to do that because of the way you lay it out.
That's because he takes it off my weekly adjustments.
Look, I think that's a waste of time anyway. You could use the same sheet if you just added an extra column.
You never mentioned that before.
Well, you never asked.
Yes?
Yes. I've got a proposal to improve salary administration.
Excellent, at last.
I want to replace the hatch in the corridor with a window, the sort they have in banks, so that we can see our customers properly and they can see us without having to bend down.
Uh-huh. Well, that's it?
Yes. It would make a great difference to morale, I'm positive.
Paul, it's your job to manage, not rebuild the office.
It's not as easy as that. I also don't think the work is organized properly. The paper flow is divided up, so nobody has responsibility for anything. They just fill out a form or check a printout and pass it on. They can't identify with anything.
We had the consultants in 6 months ago. They redid the system from top to bottom.
Around the computer, yes.
Listen, Paul. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to come back with some constructive suggestions about consolidating the deadlight names and increasing the productivity of the existing staff without remodeling the system or demolishing the building. Now, if there's nothing else, let's get back to work.
It has to be here, and I don't care if it hasn't been signed. I still want my money.
I can't give you your money. Can you understand me?
Look, all I'm asking is just one simple request.
I cannot give you your money.
Can you just find that piece of paper, please? Look, it's there!
I can see it's there, but it hasn't been countersigned by your supervisor. And Sonny, only salaried personnel are allowed in this office. This is a security area. Honestly, they get much better service if they didn't interfere.
Marjorie?
Look what you've done. It's ruined.
I'm ever so sorry. I never saw. You don't have to sit at that hatch all day long. I want everybody's beck and call. Nag, nag, nag. I might as well be at home.
I'm trying to do something about it. Meanwhile, can we just try and treat people like human beings?
How about people treating us like human beings for a change?
I know.
You did ask, right? Well, look.
Speaking.
All right, yeah. I just want you to send... Hold on. Could I speak to you for a minute, please?
Sure, come on.
Right. Look, I'll have to phone you back. All right. Okay, bye-bye. 10 minutes.
Your special, sir. A strong number 5.
Do that for us.
All right, Marjorie. Well, I've done that before. I'd be wonderful.
9 extra sugars for modern.
Look, we're going to have an extra 150 names.
Customers, Trevor.
All right, customers, whatever you like. Look, I go through all that stuff about self-determined, purposeful, and useful work. But what do we get out of this? The same as usual. Look, we should have something coming to us. I mean, you did ask, right?
Of course.
Well, it's not fair. Anyone would think that we didn't know what everyone else gets paid. Look at this regrading they did on the deadlight people. I mean, look, if we're going to have more responsibilities and more work, we should get more money. There's got to be some sort of reward, right?
Is that all you get out of the job? The money?
There's a start, isn't it?
Do the others feel the same?
You could pay Marjorie with washers. She just comes here to get out of the house. Mr. Alexander, well, he thinks this is some sort of social club. And the temp, she thinks it's interesting. You didn't get me wrong about the money. I mean, I just want to get on, don't I?
Don't we all? Look, Trevor, I'll see what I can do.
I mean, you did ask me, didn't you? Great. You can keep those copies.
Yeah, I didn't want it to go out without the spelling. Okay.
There's got to be some reward. But what? Reward means different things to different people. More money? New skills? Something to do all day? They all want different things. It's hopeless.
Right. Hello? Yes.
I'm going for lunch.
Hold on a second. I didn't say nothing.
Can I come in?
Yes?
I'm not disturbing you, am I?
No.
You see, we've been talking, Trevor and Marjorie and, you know, us.
Yes?
They sent me in to ask if we could have a meeting.
Of course.
You see, there's a lot of things been happening. Not just Mr. Kipling's funny turn. Things were piling up before then. And then you came along and it all seemed to get worse. We didn't know whether we were coming or going.
I'm sorry about that.
Not your fault. It was just some of the things you did.
What sort of things?
I don't know. Going through our job descriptions with us and logging complaints and stuff like that. All that business about our jobs being purposeful and useful, we're just not used to it. And then we've got all those extra deadlight people to deal with. So you see, we've been talking, Trevor and Marjorie and me, and we've got some things we want to suggest.
Yes?
We'd like to get rid of that hatch for a start. Have a window instead.
Oh.
And then we think we could take it in turns there, so that it doesn't get on Marjorie's nerves. If that's all right with you. And we think we could merge the personnel sheet with the input sheet, which would mean a lot less checking. And going through our job descriptions all together, put it all in perspective. Actually, it sort of ties in with some of the stuff I've been doing at college. You don't mind us, you know.
Mind? Mind? Get everybody in here right now. So there we are. With the new organisation, I guarantee there'll be a lot less mistakes. With only a few minor alterations, we can make everyone much more responsible for what they do. We can cope better with sick days and holidays and Lorna's day release. We can take on the extra 150 tomorrow. That's assuming we get the PC and everybody trained on it.
But you're proposing to increase salaries.
I want their grades put on a par with general accounts. That's only fair. And the increase is covered by what we save on temping. The bottom line is, we increase productivity without increasing costs.
But how are you going to get your staff to go along with it?
They helped me put it together.
They helped you. Sounds good to me. Well done. Well done. Well done, Paul.
Down the hatch. 3 cheers for the window. Hip hip.
Hooray! Hooray!
Well done, everyone.
Thank you. I don't really like this, so I'm...
Motivation is about how people feel about their work. As in anything to do with feelings, there are no hard and fast rules. But whatever the job, people have to be motivated to do it well. Ralph Trimmer thinks it's about carrot and stick, and George thinks it's about being a father figure. And they're both right, up to a point. But basically, people motivate themselves. We all want different things out of our work. Lorna wants to learn, to develop her professional skills. Trevor wants recognition with more pay. Marjorie wants a change from her home environment. And Mr. Alexander wants a social life. If we think our work can give us what we want, we put our backs into it. So what can a manager do to help make work motivating? It's got to be self-determined. We want to be in control of our own lives. Get people to participate as much as possible in the decisions that concern them. It's got to be purposeful. You should agree with individuals and with your work group tough but achievable targets that are also measurable. And you have to make sure people have the right feedback so they always know if they're reaching them. People have also got to feel that their work is useful. By useful, I don't only mean making a useful contribution to the work group or serving the needs of customers. I also mean useful to other individuals, especially those who you come into regular contact with. What you do is useful to all sorts of people. Your boss, for example, the person at the next desk. And of course, a manager should identify the ways in which every job can be rewarding. This doesn't only mean pay and benefits, although these have to be clear and fair. It means job satisfaction, learning something new, a new skill perhaps, or a sense of accomplishment. So there we are. Spur. A good manager will find a spur in the most mundane and repetitive of jobs.
Motivation comprises a complex mixture of feelings, needs, attitudes, expectations, and values. And all these things underlie the way people behave at work. As a manager or team leader, your job is to create the conditions in which every member of the team works together to achieve the goals of the organization, and is motivated to do so by being able to satisfy their own personal needs and desires. It's not easy, of course. There's no button you can press that will instantly motivate your team. But there are a number of practical steps that will help you improve performance and motivation. These exercises are designed to help you recognize the symptoms and effects of poor motivation, and most importantly, how to address them. Sam heads up a busy order processing department in a rapidly expanding publishing group. The company sells reference books, and it's the job of Sam and her team to handle distribution and invoicing. You'll be given the opportunity to eavesdrop on conversations Sam has with her team and other colleagues. Listen to the conversations to establish what is the main symptom of poor motivation in her workplace? What's demotivating Sam and her team? And what's needed to motivate them? When you've listened to all of their experiences, select the final option to sort out their problems.
I'm sorry to go on about it, Nikki, but I just can't figure out what's going wrong. I've got a great team. Everyone works really hard. I can't even remember the last time anyone went home on time. But for all our hard work, we're just seen as the poor relation, just because we don't actually generate the income. And as if that wasn't enough, I've had the dynamic Derek sticking his nose in all day asking if the invoices had gone out. I mean, what do they think we do all day? Sit on...
Come on, Sam, this is supposed to be happy hour.
I know. Oh, you just don't know how lucky you lot are. The glamour brigade in marketing. Direct access to the boss. If he ever stumbled into our little office, he wouldn't even know who we were.
OK. I think that's enough work for one night. I don't know about you, but I could do with another drink.
Yes, a large one for me, please.
Look, are you sure he didn't order it? I mean, look, I haven't got the file to hand right now, and I'll have to... Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, no. Of course he couldn't have. And, you did cancel his subscription. I see. Look, I'm really sorry. Yes, of course, yes. We'll send a courier to collect it. Right. Goodbye. Sam, did you hear that? I don't believe it.
What?
It's so embarrassing. There I was, insisting that he must have ordered the book, and then his wife said he died nearly 2 years ago.
Oh, Jenny.
I'm sorry. Oh dear, if I didn't laugh sometimes I'd cry. I don't like making mistakes. And if I wasn't so busy, I'd have time to try and fathom out how to run that duplication program. Then maybe this kind of thing wouldn't happen so often.
Yes, well, we'll have to sort that out when we get time. Where are you with the orders anyway?
Oh, don't ask. It took me all morning to key in about 10 orders. I don't know what was going on. I kept getting this weird error message on screen. And why we have to key in all that stuff about the customer, I'll never know. All it does is make the process even longer.
Yes, I know. But that's all marketing information that sales need.
Well, they should type their own bloody information in then. We've got enough to do without all that...
I know. Now, come on, let's get the rest of those orders out, or we'll be here till midnight again.
Hello?
Hi, it's me.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Well, how much longer are you going to be?
I don't know, another hour, more.
Well, what about dinner? It'll be ready in half an hour.
I'm sorry, just stick it in the oven.
Dave, this is the second time this week. You spend more time there than you do with us.
I know, I want to get home too, but I've got to redo this stuff by tomorrow. We're already days behind as it is.
Why won't you talk to Sam? There must be other people who can help.
There's no point. Sam's far too busy. She's still here as well. And Jenny doesn't know any more about the system than I do. Look, Kate, I've got to go. If we get this wrong again, I'll be really out on a limb. We can't both afford to be out of work, can we?
OK. I'll see you later then.
Yeah, bye.
Hey, Dave, how's it going?
Oh, fine. I should be able to get this lot cleared tonight, no problem.
Oh, that's great. Don't stay too late.
No, I'll see you tomorrow.
Poor motivation can manifest itself in many ways. What's the main indication that all is not well in Sam's office? Absenteeism doesn't seem to be a problem here. Quite the opposite, in fact. But part of the reason the staff are putting a lot of time in is as a result of poor quality work, the backlog of orders and late invoices. People can work hard and well as a team, but still be demotivated. There's clearly a real problem with the quality of the work in Sam's department. But what's the reason it never seems to improve? Although they both make mistakes, Dave and Jenny do seem to care about their work, and so does Sam. But they don't seem to get any support or feedback from the company. Without the right support and feedback, they have no incentive to improve the quality of their work. So we've established that motivation is low, and the problem isn't getting resolved. So what do you think is at the root of the problem? What is actually demotivating Sam's team? Well, underneath the chaos, The working conditions, as far as we know, are okay. The main demotivator seems to be the sheer amount of work the team are faced with. No matter how many hours people put in, they never seem to be able to catch up. And they're now caught in an endless cycle of poor quality work and longer hours. What do you think motivates Dave on a personal level? Dave seems far more concerned with job security than anything else. His main objective is supporting his family, and he's determined to do whatever it takes to hold on to his job. Yet the very thing that motivates him is affecting his family life. What do you think motivates Sam as a manager? Sam might like a challenge, but from what we've seen of her, she wants her team to be respected by the rest of the company. She feels they work hard and yet still manage to be the poor relation of the other departments. The problems in Sam's department are not unusual. What would you do to help the team cope with their workload? Recruiting more people might make things even more chaotic. Providing effective training might be a better first choice. Jenny and Dave could become far more effective if they better understood the systems they were using. Most organisations are a little bit like Sam's. Everyone complains once in a while, stays late from time to time, wishes other people would say thank you and well done just occasionally. We all balance our own personal needs, the desire for reward, recognition or security, with the needs of our organisation. So as a manager, you'll need to be aware of what personally motivates your team and how the organisation itself affects their performance. There is no doubt that a motivated workforce is the difference between a surviving company and a successful one. If expectations are met, whatever they are, people won't just work harder, they'll be more flexible, more enterprising, more creative. When you finish this course, use the action plans to identify practical, achievable targets for improving motivation with your own team. After all, not everyone wants to go home to another cold dinner. Theories about what motivates people to work have been around as long as there's been work to do. But the academic study of motivation at work, based on observation and research, only began in earnest this century. Elton Mayo was in charge of a social science research team at the Hawthorne Works in Chicago in the 1920s. Their aim was to measure the effect on productivity of making certain controlled improvements in working conditions, such as the level of lighting. The improvements were made, and productivity increased. But even more interestingly, when conditions returned to their original state, productivity continued to rise. The Hawthorne effect, as it became known, suggests that productivity can be achieved simply by making people the centre of management attention. In the 1950s, the psychologist Abraham Maslow developed a theory of motivation which has come to be known as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow maintained that a universal hierarchy of 5 needs motivates all individuals. It starts with meeting the 2 basic requirements of sustaining and protecting human life, and then moves on to satisfying social and psychological or spiritual requirements. The highest need is what he described as self-actualization. Maslow also claimed that as the needs of each level are satisfied, people's attention turns to the needs at the next level up. This means that needs only motivate when they are unsatisfied. In reality, people move backwards and forwards between different levels, and different people have different levels of need. A great deal of research has been carried out to test Maslow's assertion, and his hierarchy is clearly not universal or consistent. Nevertheless, his work played an important part in placing motivation firmly on the management agenda. A third key figure in motivation theory is Frederick Hertzberg, whose research team conducted a survey of Pittsburgh engineers and accountants in the 1950s. They were asked to describe what past incidents at work had made them feel particularly good or bad. The responses were classified to determine what type of situations lead to job satisfaction and job dissatisfaction. The interesting discovery that came out of this was that the things that led to job satisfaction were not the opposite of those that led to job dissatisfaction. Hertzberg came up with two lists with quite distinct sets of factors. Motivators, which lead to job satisfaction, tend to be about the work itself and how people are treated when they are doing it. They cover achievement, responsibility, job interest, in other words the work itself, recognition, and promotion. Lack of these motivators, however, was not associated with job dissatisfaction. This was attributed to the so-called hygiene factors, which stem from the need to avoid physical and social hardship. They cover working conditions, mess, discomfort, stupid company rules, bad relationships, whether these are with superiors or colleagues. Hertzberg's theories have also been criticized, and there is a school of thought which claims that motivators and hygiene factors are much more closely related than Hertzberg suggested. But there is one enormous contribution which he made as a direct result of his study. This was his advocacy of job enrichment, a concept now widely employed in America and Europe. Job enrichment is based on creating work with a higher degree of challenge and achievement. This is partly through variety, but critically through the removal of management controls and the extending of personal accountability, participative decision-making, and constant feedback.
This guide contains a brief description of the contents of the programme. You can skip to the summary screen at any time by pressing a button on the handset. The programme is divided into three main sections: Screen, Study, and Supplementary. Let's take a look at each of these areas in turn. Selecting the Screen option enables you to play the video in two different ways. Linear play will simply run the video straight through from beginning to end. This takes around 30 minutes. In chapter play, the video is divided into sections or chapters, each with a brief introduction and summary, and is ideal for using as a stop-start showing of the video, where you can provide your own discussion questions and commentary. Like chapter play, the Study Blocks option allows the video to be played in chapters, each with its own introduction and summary. The chapters in this section have been edited to focus on the main learning points in the story. Each study block also contains on-screen questions based on the key points raised in each video sequence. In the self-study part of this programme, the study blocks contain additional audio feedback to the questions, so you may find it useful to review that section in more detail. The supplementary section contains 4 elements. Key points can be used as a basis for summarising the main points of the programme. Exercises use a series of audio-visual scenarios to present a publishing company with motivational problems. Trainees can listen in on a number of conversations in order to try and identify what the problems are and what they do to resolve them. The library contains a selection of other videos and books, and there are materials in the accompanying resource pack which you can take away for further study. Finally, the subject overview provides an audiovisual introduction to the theory of motivation. It explores research carried out by key motivational gurus Mayo, Hertzberg and Maslow to find out what actually motivates people to work. The program itself is very easy to use. To make selections, you simply click on the appropriate menu option, control or question box. To change between trainer and self-study mode, select the switch button on the main menu. You can operate the video and other moving sequences such as key points and library by using the control panel at the foot of the screen. The panel is activated by clicking a button on the handset. Using the cursor to make a selection, you can pause and restart the sequence, replay the current sequence, or return to the menu. To turn off the control panel, simply move the cursor to the right-hand side of the screen. The panel will automatically disappear.